You're hungry. Welcome back to Full Incense. My name is Jericho, and today I'm joined by HolyDiver as we review the recent WWE event, Roadblock.
Alright.
So, today I'm going to take a break from playing, and HolyDiver is going to be playing and showing off the new Survivors of Endor map while we go over the pay-per-view. So the first match was New Day versus Sheamus and Barrett of the League of Nations. So right off the bat, what did you have to say about that?
The New Day are neat. They're kind of funny. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, let me give some background really quick. I am really into wrestling. I've been a fan for, a number of years now. And
oh, there's Vader. Hey.
HolyDiver
Vader's my
used to
buddy.
be in it, but is I guess a lapsed fan.
Yeah.
So a lot of this was the first that he's really seen in
any of these guys, practically.
Right. So yeah, your first impressions of New Day
are yeah, very much eh.
To me, they've gotten really diluted. It really has the feel of something that WWE decided they liked and decided to mess with, like Zack Ryder's YouTube channel, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And League of Nations, too, that is a dream team of mine. Barrett and Sheamus and Del Rio and Rusev, all of them, I really liked their characters as soon as they came to WWE. And pairing them together is super cool. So it's just such a letdown how just dumb the team is. And how it's not allowed to be anything good.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Sheamus and Barrett were first starting, and they were a couple of my favorites too, back in the day, but now they just don't have any interest to me.
Yep,
they're
totally
just
right.
kind of boring. And
there are reports that Wade Barrett is on his way out of the company. He said he's not going to re-sign his contract, and that's fine. I would rather him go do, just like his friend Drew McIntyre did, and go find success in TNA and come back better than ever, get experience. That's all going to be good for his career.
I think people need to start supporting TNA more, because WWE is not going to improve unless they start getting some competition. Right now they have a monopoly on the market. Right. Yep, you're right. There's no reason for them to improve. And that's why the Attitude Era is looked upon as such a wonderful time, is because they had to push every week to beat WCW. I thought I got him with that second.
So as far as the match itself, one thing I really liked was Barrett was on the top of his game. He showed moves like that corner slingshot suplex. I've never seen him do that before. It's cool to see that he's not going to let himself be like a lame duck wrestler, that he knows he's leaving, so he's not going to bother to care. Was that some kind of like Ewok trap, or was that just the tree falling?
I think that was just the tree falling, like the little thin ones. Whoa, the little thin ones. That's Luke. Excuse me, Mr. Skywalker. I don't want to.
So the thin ones can take the battle damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll splinter and fall, and it's pretty. So
the other interesting thing about the match was the whole time they really hinted at the New Day face turn, including their pre-match promo. But the end, they won as heels. Xavier Woods distracted the ref when Barrett had it won, and then they turned it around to win. But since they're so close to being faces, the New Day, that beating the League of Nations like that is still kind of a face move, even though it's a heel tactic, just because like everybody hates League of Nations so much.
Dang it. Keep sneaking up on me. Oh, I didn't change my
So the second match of the night was a surprise that was not scheduled for the card, was Chris Jericho versus Jack Swagger. And this was the second match in a row with a really overlong heel promo to start off. And so the whole point of it was to get Swagger over as a face in Canada, because he has this whole real American shtick, and they brought up Jericho and Swagger feuding in the past. And it was kind of cool to see Jericho as a full-fledged heel again after his attack on AJ Styles last Monday. He is 100% heel now, which is great.
But it was just such a lame promo.
Yeah, there was no edge to it, no bite. It was
100% just, oh, I hate Canada, boomy.
Yeah, because I'm in Canada. Right.
And heels were doing that all night.
Yeah. Even Heyman, who is usually way better than and above that sort of thing.
Right.
And it wasn't even effective, because halfway through the match, people started to boo Swagger again. It was boring. It got CM Punk chants. It was not a very good match at all. They didn't really work well together. I mean, that's why they didn't really feud when Swagger beat Jericho for the world title with Money in the Bank all those years ago. They're just not compatible.
Run. Strike, I'm gonna die, but not before I kill him. I'm not dead. Hi.
So next was, I thought the second best match of the night was the realest guys in the room versus the Revival.
What?
I didn't even see.
I shot a rocket at him like 3 inches away.
Maybe he has the the perk that, or the trait, I should say, that lowers explosive damage?
He must, because...
And at level 3?
Yeah, he must, because good lord.
Okay, so what did you think of the Revival and the Realest Guys in the Room, which was also your first exposure to either of those teams?
They were both cool teams. Yeah, I was a fan of both of those teams. I thought they both showed a lot of promise.
The NXT tag division is one of my very favorite things in wrestling right now. So we have those two teams, Blake and Murphy, the Vaudevillians, American Alpha, Gable and Jordan, all 5 are really good, experienced teams, and tag team wrestling has just always been my favorite regardless.
So, NXT is a lot bigger than it was when I was a fan.
Yes, when you watched, it was just like the Nexus season was basically the only NXT season you watched, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, so now it's 100% its own company, basically, or its own brand.
I was holding the line there.
Like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Like Thursday night is an episode of NXT. It's completely its own thing, and they do shows at Full Sail University in Orlando, like tape shows with the same crowd, so people get really over because the same people watch them week after week.
Right.
But it's really, really good. They do their own little pay-per-view events called takeovers that have consistently been at least 7 or 8 out of 10, and almost always better than the WWE pay-per-view that's around the same time. It's a party.
Upon the house top, click, click, click. Well, dang, my team really owned. I did all right for myself, considering I came in late.
Yep. All right, we still have some more time, so go ahead and start another match as the Rebels and see if you can still win. That was that guy that was getting you that whole time?
Blaze Burn, yep. Yep.
Okay, so what do you think of the match itself? The Realest Guys in the Room versus the Revival?
I mean, it was a good match. They all had a lot of talent. I liked that Big Cass a lot. Yeah, I think he definitely could be a big deal because he has the size and the look that WWE likes, but he also is really athletic and he can really move. Right.
I think the only reason they lost, Realest Guys in the Room lost, is because they're on their way up to the main roster.
Yeah, there's no point in them winning the NXT tag titles right now. Now I can change my trait to what I'm used to. Yeah.
So the next match on the card was Charlotte versus Natalya, and I thought this was not a good match at all. The ending sort of turned it around somewhat, but it was definitely the weakest of the night. It reminded me of old Divas matches. It was boring. It was like an obvious P-break match after the exciting tag team title match. And we knew they've been building towards Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha for months and months and months. So there's no way Natalya, like if any sort of crazy surprise happened on the show, it was not going to be this one.
Right.
And like I said, the finish was pretty good. The crowd got into it and it got a little bit exciting, but you never really believed that they had a chance. So after that came, Charlotte tapped out Natalya to win. Next came Lesnar versus what was scheduled to be Bray Wyatt, but ended up being, apparently, it was a handicap match, Lesnar versus Harper and Wyatt, but Wyatt never once entered the match at all, so it was just Lesnar versus Harper one-on-one.
He just walked away.
And at least this way Wyatt doesn't have to get pinned, but where do they go from here? They mentioned during the show that now Lesnar is on his way to fight Ambrose at WrestleMania. So what is Wyatt's match going to be? I don't know what on earth they're doing with Wyatt. He got protected by not having to get pinned, that's fine. Harper looked really good in defeat. He got in a ton of offense against Lesnar.
Harper is a really, really talented guy. Come here, DSD. Did I miss?
No, yeah, I saw it sailing towards the trees to the left.
Yikes.
It went completely the other way.
Yikes. That's okay.
Yeah, you still got him.
It recharges soon. I'll save the day, everybody.
Yeah, HolyDiver is a big proponent of ion grenades.
There we go. All right.
Nice. But yeah, good match, but surprising and weird. I guess they can get away with it because it's not a pay-per-view. People didn't. The only reason you watch this is if you already have the network. Nobody bought the network for Roadblock because it was only announced like a couple weeks ago. But if I spent money hoping to see Wyatt and Lesnar, I would have been mad.
Yeah, definitely. And just well, I'll go into that more toward the end.
Okay.
So just the whole pay-per-view.
Right, yeah, exactly. So the next match was Sami Zayn versus Stardust, which to me was a very welcome surprise because these are two of my favorites. Sami Zayn has made a great impression in his short time with the company. He's awesome, he's amazing, and Cody Rhodes is one of my very favorite of all time. I really like the Stardust character. HolyDiver was saying during the pay-per-view that Cody Rhodes is the method actor of WWE. You know, they'll give him all sorts of these different characters. They had
That was rude of me.
him with The Legacy, him with DiBiase before that.
That's what they were called.
Him with Hardcore Holly before that. Then Dashing Cody Rhodes, and then he was with Damian Sandow in the Rhodes Scholars. And now he has this Stardust gimmick, and he really makes them all work no matter what they do to him. And I really hope that his time could still come. I hope he doesn't.
Wow.
I mean, he's a Rhodes, so I think that he's probably protected as far as like backstage politics in WWE goes. I just hope that he doesn't lose his patience and keeps his eye on the prize, and he could really make it one day. I hope.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. It was just kind of, I mean, there's no way that Stardust was going to win, but they still turned it into a great match. I'm glad that they got a lot of time. I think their match was probably longer than.
And Rhodes really puts his whole self into it.
That's what makes Cody Rhodes so good. Is he's one of the best in the game at keeping his character up at all times, no matter what. A lot of people, you know, Miz will have his facials at the beginning of the match, but then it'll slip and he'll just be a wrestler.
Right.
But Stardust at all times is showing what he can do.
Yep.
But yeah, like I was saying, I think this match was even longer than Harper and Lesnar, which was cool. Although also kind of weird, like if I paid for that and I'm getting this match I didn't even know about, it took up more of the time, but you know.
I think that's Vader. I think that's Vader. I should go the opposite direction.
You should go the opposite direction.
I don't want to go Vader.
Okay, so then we have the main event of the evening was Triple H versus Dean Ambrose. And what would you have to say about that, Mr. HolyDiver?
Oh, I say that Pierre Paul is making me sad. Triple H, I've always been a fan of Triple H. But that match, that was awful.
Oh, really? You would say it was all? I thought the match was good.
Well, the match itself was good. The ending was terrible. Like, it just...
I don't like that they did the false finish. I don't think... I mean, it's cool that Ambrose basically pinned him, but...
It was just a tease
right,
of what could have been better.
And they know. It's like they're holding it over the fans' heads. Like, we know that you want Ambrose to be the guy, but he's not going to be. He'll never get there.
Just taunting us. And then see, what I wouldn't have minded is right after, because Ambrose, his win didn't count because he had to speed onto the ropes.
Supposedly.
And then immediately after that, Triple H rolled him up and put his feet on top of the ropes.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, very, very, very clear and obvious. And I think that should have been the win. And then it would have been very clear that, oh, so this ref was on Triple H's side because Triple H is the COO. And...
Yes, I totally agree that would have been the better finish.
Yep. Or alternately,
or Ambrose win.
There was a count out at and Ambrose barely made it in at 9. Why not have him just get counted out? That would be another more fair option.
Yeah, I agree. Once again, WWE had the chance to make things more interesting and to change things up, but they just went with a predictable thing.
Yep.
So Roadblock ended up just being a speed bump on the way to a WrestleMania that we've seen coming for months.
Right.
Which was, I mean, it was an okay show. The matches I thought were all at least decent.
Yeah,
you know,
they were
the
fine.
in-ring action was good, but the outcomes and just the predictability of the whole show was really disappointing.
I didn't see a purpose to the whole show, really.
Right. Yeah, and as a lapsed fan, it's not going to be the one that changes your mind.
Absolutely not, because everything, even just what Jericho told me about the wrestlers and the stories before the show.
Yeah, you could have predicted all the outcomes.
Yes, every single one. Every single one. I don't even know who Cass is, you know?
Right.
But it didn't matter. So that...
But that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back, or at least I'll be back for the WrestleMania review. I don't know who will or if I'll have anybody joining me for that one. But thank you for your time. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. Give me a comment. If you didn't, hit the dislike button and tell me how I can improve things in the future. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a war story. And that's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much to HolyDiver for joining me and for providing the gameplay today.
Happy to.
I don't know about you guys, but we're full.